It rings a big bell. It rings a big bell. Oops!
We'll
Saturday morning, 7 TV. Here is Karl and here is me.
Me and you and me, for us to see.
That's IP infringement right there. I must
for that if I sing that.
I must talk to Andrew Jones at Cursed Sun. I would be quite interested to see if he could come up with a metal jingle for us. Cursed Sun is a prominent local metal band that edges into the heavily dark.
Is it this sort of noise? Is it that sort of noise?
It's really weird when you chat to Andrew. He's got this just average everyday kind of, how you doing? You know, I could sell you ice cream, I could sell you a car, and then he does these sort of, we are going to do this, and it's like suddenly his voice seems to come from, like, you know, down about here, from about the third ring of hell, and it's glorious. You just sit there going, wow.
Ask him to do requests. Ask him to do Sound of Music. That'd be quite good.
Yeah, you've obviously heard them. Quality stuff. No, they really are. But that would actually be kind of amusing. You could sort of do a tour of the local bands. So go, right, guys, you know, we're going to do a shout out for you, but you have to do this like a 30-second one-off jingle. It'll only ever be played once.
Could you do Bring Me Sunshine, please?
It is actually fascinating to go onto YouTube and look at cover versions. You would be amazed. Let It Snow, the black or death metal version of Let It Snow, is brilliant. Because it has the whole guthrie bit, and then the chorus goes, it's his mate sings, and the chorus is really kind of sort of airy and floaty. Let it snow, let it snow, don't hold me back anymore.
I must admit, it's not a genre of music that I've listened to a great deal. I'm familiar with it, but
I'm aware of what you're talking about.
I'm aware of it. How have you been, my darling? All right. Are you you got your flippers on?
Yeah. I've been feeding fish to the orcas and rescuing Uncle Ted from the well, stuff like that. There, it's been a week of rain here all week. It's just,
it's been
just rain. I mean, traditionally, one often says of Ireland, it's very wet. We've been pushing the boat out quite literally a bit further this week.
This week you're saying it's very wet.
Yeah, you probably don't want to do that bit, and certainly don't do that bit and point over there.
I've made a horrible faux pas again.
It's not a faux pas. You didn't do both parts. You didn't mention how high the snow was.
That's a water level for everybody out there.
Right.
Me underwater.
Fair enough. It happened to be quite close to your nose.
Just to specify that.
Right. There we go. So,
moving on.
Moving on swiftly. Oh, it's a shame. If only we had an agenda to talk about, we could move on swiftly into a segue, but we don't. You have an agenda.
You've written a list.
You've got an agenda, and I've got a photo gallery.
Have you?
Yeah.
Or talk about Mike Reid in Runaround.
We could, but it would be a very one-sided conversation. So you've got 30 seconds. Tell me about Mike Reid and Runaround. Right.
Okay. So two teams. Mike Reid in the middle, comparing in the best kind of 70s way. I think it's very yellow, but that might have been Checkers Place Pop. I can't remember. And then there were two teams, and then Mike would go, 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 go. like that, as if he was in a thrash metal band. And
Go.
Yeah, and they would do activities, and he'd go, "Oh, that was lovely," at the end of it, and that was about it.
It sounds like some sort of bizarre mashup of It's a Knockout and Crackerjack.
Yeah, it was one of those, lots of kids, probably from two schools, from St Swithun's and something else, basically doing various challenges, which I think involved filling up like plastic tubes full of water, if I remember rightly.
And those kids went on to take seats in University Challenge.
Absolutely, probably members of Parliament now, I would imagine.
Yeah, it was.
Mike Creed was the draw.
Do you remember the near constant? It was like when any show that involved children just seemed to have a soundtrack that was.
Can you imagine trying to wrangle those? Both is a gaggle of kids, and then there's a gaggle of kids massively excited because they're going to be on TV.
Yeah.
With Stuart Francis in front of them. I mean, they're going to be going absolutely mental at that stage.
And of course, all of them plied with sugary drinks and sweets because all sweets were just pure sugar back then. Here's a kilogram of sugar, kilogram of sugar, kilogram of sugar. Take your seat, please.
Nicola, give me some more space dust.
Oh, moon dust.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Hilly on the tongue.
Oh, yeah. Never, ever, ever snorted. That was a bad mistake.
Weren't there always urban legends about, my brother's cousin heard of a kid and he had space dust and he died because his head exploded. There was definitely an urban legend around space dust.
There was. Ours didn't use that strange Grange Hill accent that you've just used.
Oh no, all kids around my way spoke like that.
Right. Okay. Ours kind of all talk like that there. Do you hear me, wee Billy? Wee Billy done the moon dust in his head like blew up like.
Well, like they were 40-year-old in a pub.
Yeah. Again,
no, I very much felt like that, Mr. Broughton. Yes, right. Mr. Broughton, it's very nice. Thank you for the fair cakes and orange squash. That's how they speak.
Our kids all developed a bit quicker than that. There, it was give us a white lightning or baby, mate.
No, ours were give them 5 minutes and they would have been in old London town with Sherlock Holmes. I would have thought.
They were the Baker Street Peculiars or whatever they were called.
Yeah. Irregulars.
Irregulars.
Actually,
Peculiar.
Peculiars is better. The Peculiars is much better.
There you go.
Hello, Mr. Holmes. I'm one of the Peculiars.
There's the Crooked Dice 7 TV version. You do this gang of street urchins called the Baker Street Peculiars.
Peculiars.
Oh, you could do them as cultists. You could do them as like deep one kind of converts, and they're all like,
all little kids.
Yeah.
Hey, sir, can I have some more? And your sanity.
Do 3 of them stood on each of our shoulders with the traditional big long coat open and the hat.
I've wanted to do that for ages. I really have. In disguise.
Yeah, oh dear. There's Chocolate Osla informed us that is the right. Yeah, we know it's the regulars. We're obviously, ham-braid twists. What have we got? It involved lots of colour balls, yes. Everything in children's TV back then involved huge amounts of coloured balls.
Oh, that's Helena, that is. And she's also saying that my earlier reference about the water level, my parting apparently isn't helping.
I think you got the water level just about right. As I say, it's just fortunate that you didn't tell us where the water level was at that time. Over there. Yes, in the snow. This is Karl. I mean, we've got to remember that, Karl pushes pull doors, and that's what he's all about.
Many a time, I'm there with my tongue stuck to something, very cold,
This
for hours.
is cold.
Someone rescue me. It's very cold.
But it's the middle of summer, Karl. How did you find something this cold? I put it in the freezer.
Oh, it's dark. Send help.
The scary thing is you run what passes as a successful business these days.
That was run around. I think we've covered all of that now.
Yeah. Because we're losing the will to live because people just keep going. I tune in every Saturday and these guys just talk crap. I could listen to my family.
Someone said to me, "Oh, it's weird not having you on next week," and I said, "You showed remarkable stamina just sitting there listening to this waffle."
do you know? It's like one of the mates said to me. He said, if lockdown had never happened, Saturday morning 7 TV just wouldn't work. But he says the fact that lockdown is a thing, we've apparently become one of the highlights for a lot of people's 2020. We're like that one thread, that last straw. That's the
That
difference
shows
between.
how low the bar was dropped.
It's well, you know, it's a win for us because it saves on. Think of the money we're saving on makeup and proper lighting. Right, I suppose we should show them some toys. Now, here's the problem. You've got a list that I don't have. I've got a gallery of photographs that you haven't seen.
Doesn't matter. Just go for it. Let's freeform it.
Will we try and just marry them up or something like that there and see what happens?
Freestyle.
Freestyle. What do you think you are, Tony Hawk's?
I've got a hoodie on. Could be one of them rappers that the young people
It
speak of.
explains this week's hair if you're kind of getting a bit of Tony Hawk's into you. Tony Hawk's into you. Right. So cultists then. I love these guys. Your little deep one cultists. They speak to me in my dreams.
What voice are they using? I speak like that.
I love his staff with Cthulhu at the end. Now, obviously, the gallery's going to rattle because I've left the gallery kind of automatic. So why don't you pick a topic off your list, and I'll pad until the appropriate photograph comes up.
I've just seen the next set of Tan Guards popping up as well, which I've got about, and
Yeah.
there's Skelly now as well that have popped up. There's been loads.
Well, I suppose you could let the gallery run, and it'll give you an idea of where the photos are in sequence, and then you, like somebody trying to hitch a ride on a merry-go-round, can dive in with your list at the appropriate juncture.
Right, got it. Right, okay. Well, what I've seen pop up there now, orcs for the next Kickstarter.
Look at this. Look at this. Justin Lee Morrison. We're in the middle of a live broadcast. What's Justin concerned about? Making sure I send in his order. Talk about inappropriate channels. I'm just going to block him now. That's it. He's earned a 1-day bar from YouTube. There we go. Bless him. No,
right, what have we got? Orcs is what I've been doing.
Well, the orcs are way around the cycle. It's a nice set of very old school looking orcs.
Retro ones. I wanted kind of brutish, sort of like Simeon Gate kind of looking fellas in there. So John Pickford, been working with him, and then before that, Dave Needham on some of the concept stuff. And at the moment, there's 9 of them. I don't think need the musicians in that picture that I've shared.
No.
So you've got those, 20 goblins, 10 wolf riders, an ogre tribe, and some trolls, and that'll make up the bulk of the next Kickstarter.
Okay, so I mean that's one faction, isn't it?
Kind of. I mean, we don't tend to do big armies, but I must admit I've kind of tried to give a bit of a nod to the old Hammer sort of crowd with it. We've got a standard bearer and a musician and other bits. And if the campaign goes well, I'll try and add some more kind of spearmen and stuff like that. But yeah, with the other bits and pieces, you've got there's like 20 goblins of missiles and spears and various weapons in there. So you've got a little horde going on there. So if you wanted to, you could do a big old.
Yeah, you could do a proper little army. There they are on the screen for folks at the minute. Pause the screen or something. I don't know. It is kind of nice. I mean, you mentioned there obviously the good old music guy and the standard bearer. Are you going to do those for the likes of the skeletons as well?
Yeah, at the moment, James Sheriff is working on like a command set for the skellies. So there's a standard bearer, a musician, a kind of a skeleton king, I suppose, and regiments of renown, well done, face ogres. And yeah, so there'll be a set of 4 for those, because it's just a nice little add-on.
Little command group, that's the way to go. Champion, standard bearer, musician, magic user.
Exactly. So, if I can, I'm going to try and get a kind of a goblin king as well for that little faction.
Well, I'm sorry, but if the Goblin King doesn't bear a striking resemblance to a certain singer from a certain movie who had the title Goblin King, you're out.
Oh, that Goblin King. Oh, I see. Yeah,
What
no,
do you mean?
not Goblin.
What do you mean that Goblin King? That's the only Goblin King.
No, I was thinking a chunky monkey kind of fella.
No, that would be do the proper Goblin King.
Can't do that. That's. There's a man who's got that, isn't there?
No,
got that.
No, he hasn't. Has he?
I don't know.
You could do a goblin dressed as the Goblin King, complete with the child.
Or just we could paint him with like a little Ziggy.
Yeah. No, okay, I'm with you on that. Okay, so goblins are class. I think it's coming up for us. I don't know if it's going to come up for people. Why haven't the goblins changed on the live feed? That's weird. The picture's changing on. There we go. Something.
I'm still seeing orcs at the moment.
I must have paused something. I don't know how I done that. I would love to learn how I done that because that'd be really handy to be able to do properly. So the phantom, the shadow, the ghost, look. All of them.
Well, this week I got 15 kilos of masters, just masters, not even stock, from thing, which was the orcs, which were they're big, they're very big. Those orcs. Hold on.
You like them big? That looks like a proper size. We can see it. You don't need to do your weird hand thing. We can see it because you're wearing a black top.
Right, there you go.
It's very nice.
They're big. So they're heavy, but in that as well, all of those pulp fellas. So they'll be coming out next month, I think. What else was in there? Some more fantasy bits and pieces that you haven't seen. This is a creepy little fella.
Have we been able to move your release schedule to the 30th of each month so we can all actually go shopping? Ooh.
Now he's got a couple of big wings. Mark Evans. Yeah. So he's that old little demon thing, and there's a ranger, and there's a dwarf lord, and a few other bits and pieces that came in with that as well. So loads and loads of stuff. No more skellies yet, but there's more of those coming up. Oh, and all the town guard as well. They came in.
Yes, the lady town guard. They're nice.
Yeah. So all 8 of those will they'll get sent off to paint as the various bits and pieces. More skellies as well. So there's 8 more archers and that command group, as well as the mace ones. So I have to get those out. And the picture that's popped up at the moment is that lovely set of painted ones that they did in the little dungeon that they
yes, they've done a really cracking job on those.
I think someone shared those.
Was it an Andy somebody or other? Might have been. It seems unfair to not actually give seems unfair to not give them a shout out. So I'm just going to very quickly nip to your page so we can give credit where credit's due for those painted skellies. Because those painted skellies make me want to do skellies.
Yeah.
There we are. It's not Simon Bradley. He's done the skeletons in power armor. It was James Sheriff.
Yeah, James is a sculptor. So James sculpted those, and it's Yoji Moniyama who painted those.
Oh right. Oh yes, sculpt and
he shared them with James, and then
Brass Monkey. That's why it was so cold for you.
There you go. See what you've done there.
Yeah, just had the mental image. I'm trying to sponge it out of my brain right now because it's kind of scary. Are we going to see? Because obviously the town guard, the skeletons, the gobos, and whatnot, they're all fantasy. But your deep dudes are kind of fantasy as well. Though I mean, you could just as easily use them as deep ones in modern day as well. But are we going to see more of those? Because you've kind of got a standard bearer. You've kind of got what looks like it might be a magician. In the cultist, in the fish ones, they're just cultists in there. But yeah, they could be used for fantasy. They are intended because there's another 4 townsfolk that are coming up as well. They'll go into the first of the little feature pack things that we've been writing. So that'll be 5 linked scenarios, and that'll be the Battle of Marshport. Nice.
Where weird things come out of the sea, and the FBI and G-men and army guys do it. So that's a good pulp scenario pack.
Excellent.
So I just love those, and Ian Colwell does such a good job with the sculpts on those that I could do a whole township of fish folk.
Dig on.
Yeah. So I've got that. I've got a few other bits and pieces, some statues and bits and pieces that have been made as well that I haven't shared yet for that. So that'll be a nice one.
Yeah, because it's one of those ones too where, because of how they're dressed and all, yes, they can drop into fantasy, they can drop into that kind of abandoned North England seafaring town quite easily too, and populate any other game you might care, like, you know, Innsmouth or whatever. But they are rather nice. They are rather nice. Stop sniggering. Stop sniggering. That was subtle. But no, there's the dude with his little staff, and he looks kind of like Standard, and then you've got the little dude with the star on his dress, and he's kind of doing that there, and you could very easily kind of go, he's the magic user.
Yes.
Level 1 fireball. Level 1 fireball.
Well, Otherworld did a good set of Dagon sort of cultists this week that I didn't know they were putting out.
Oh,
so there'll be a little range there. If you want. But yeah, so loads more fantasy bits coming in. The zombie bear last weekend. Didn't speak last weekend, did we?
No, we had a weekend off. We need one now and again.
Yeah, every now and again.
Yeah, because every now and again.
There.
What about a big critter? I mean, you know, it is mythos and it is cultist. I mean, shouldn't there be some kind of big critter for them, like a semi-mermaid lady with lots of tentacle legs that eats people and stuff?
You don't eat cheese before you go to bed. You're having those dreams again, aren't you?
Have you not watched the film Dagon?
I have watched the film Dagon. Oh, and the lady in the bed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, there you go.
Yeah, I've got a bigger kind of shoggoth in there that I haven't shown anybody yet, and there's a few other bits and pieces for that. So Ernst just finished off some nice sort of government agents this week.
I just love his name. You should just do a Crooked Dice t-shirt that just says Ernst.
Only Ernst could wear it. I could wear it, that'd be wrong. So I need to send you shirts, I haven't forgotten.
You could do Minion of Ernst.
Minion.
The guy's a legend, and it's only because of his name, not what he should actually be a legend for, which is his sculpting. We gamers like people for strange reasons. You and your hair, after all. Right. Anyway, back on target, because we made a solemn oath to the dark ones that we would stay on target, because the other thing that's been cycling around there that we haven't mentioned is, of course, the really cool Resny bits now for secret bases, layers, and command centers. You've got all those little computer terminals now that are fancy, and you've got multiple maps of the world now as well.
Yes, we've got. So I loved that terrain. It's really influenced TV in there, and it's been around for a good 10 years, I would have thought. And it was designed by Richard Kemp of Honourable Lead Boiler Soup Company. I think I've got that right.
Sorry, Honourable Lead Boiler Soup?
Yeah, I'm sure HLBS, is the name of his company, and he does loads of good stuff. Go and have a look. But he sculpted that, and then Copplestone brought that out for Kiss Kiss Bang Bang when they did that, whenever it was, 10 years ago. And it's moved around a little bit, and I think Nick North Star sold it for a bit, and there were half a dozen sets, like a missile command thing, secret control room, a lab, medical bay, that kind of thing. And I loved them. But I eventually spoke to Richard and said, could you do some new stuff for me? Which he did. And we did that for a while. And that's a lot of the new bits that you're seeing coming up at the moment with the maps and the various odds and sods. And then he said, are you interested in the old stuff? Yeah. So there's about 60 pieces in the old sets. And we've done about the same again, new. So I've got an exciting long list here somewhere. Hold on, let me shout you out. So secret base control room, big bank, missile control room, power room, laboratory, medical room, high-tech lab, and a load of doors as well, which is original stuff. And then I'm adding to it death traps, data center, the war room, pipes and pillars, a launch silo, so the big missile, The monitoring station, you're going to lose your mind at the monitoring station. That's those little maps that you've already seen up there. And then there's a little table which has got different inserts which go into it, like a volcano and Fort Knox and a little dam and a little moon base.
Oil rigs.
Yeah, they're absolutely brilliant. And there's a power plant as well, which wouldn't go amiss on a sort of a man with a golden guns island. You know, those weird helium bats.
Yeah.
It's a basis. So there's a little kind of power plant thing with it as well, and a few other ideas that we've got. We had a brilliant little conveyor belt which was never released. And we went, oh, that'd be quite good. And we could do an airport with it. So we're going to do little kind of luggage cars and
X-ray machine type things.
Yeah. So there's going to be loads of it. And there's so much is now figuring out how the best way to actually get it out. Because if you put it into regular production, it will be like probably 18 months to get all through. So what's the best way? Is it slow or is it to put it all into a Kickstarter? But even then, if there's at least 100 pieces, and we get 100 people on the Kickstarter saying they want things, that's going to take a while to fulfill as well.
Just go with normal production and do it like every couple of months. I mean, I was actually about to say, are you putting up the details so people can just pay by direct debit every month now? Because it's getting a bit beyond a joke. I mean, even Games Workshop have slowed down and aren't doing weekly new releases. It's like every week, crooked dice. Come on, people need to buy big beans.
Come on, chop chop. Yeah, a bit like when I bought all the terrain off of Pardulon in there. There was like 100 odd pieces. It just takes a while to get it all out.
Yeah,
because the rest of the production is just a bit slower as well. So, but we'll get there. But I can't wait to get that in.
Need a bank of 3D printers. Yeah, the maps, Chuckle Assault maps do look awesome. The Antarctic map is really nice, and it's kind of cute to see a UK-centric map there as well, instead of America.
Yeah, there's the two kind of little ones in there, but the map table, those volcanoes and the other bits and pieces, they're 3D.
Yeah, I was hoping.
Yeah. So they're the kind of you know the bit in Goldfinger where the snooker table turns around and it's got the it's got the thing on there. It's basically that.
And then wasn't it? What was the one? I think it was Roger Moore, where the guy's floor opens and the map comes up and it's all the oil rig diamond. Oh, it was diamonds. Diamonds are forever.
Is it Diamonds Forever as well? Is there one of those? I've forgotten that. I haven't seen that as many times. Actually,
pretty sure it's Diamonds Are Forever, and it's all the oil rigs that they control, and then there's the weird one. Bond, of course, notices this one out here that's not doing anything.
And where's that one there? Yeah, I did see that bit. I think that's a flat map.
I thought he actually had little oil rigs on it.
Maybe it is out the floor, but it's got flashing lights or something on it. I'll have a look again.
Yeah, who cares?
But yeah, no, they are fantastic. It's just going to be a case of getting them out to people. So there's stuff that we've sort of designed it so it works with the MDF wooden base.
Nice. Nice. Funny enough, I did see, I follow one of the renders pages, and I meant to save the image because I seen what the guy had rendered and thought that would make a perfect piece of 7 TV terrain. Do you remember the film War Games?
Yes.
Do you remember the supercomputer? And I always wanted to play the game of chess.
I remember the thing. I can't remember what it looks like though. Was it just a big thing in the background? I'll have to look. Let's Googleize it.
I'm trying to find it for you now.
A name.
The NORAD, the name given to the NORAD supercomputer was WOPR. If you do a Google image search for the NORAD supercomputer known as WOPR. Now it is essentially a couple of big chunks, but whenever you see it, you will get where I'm coming from. That is totally crooked dice.
That is sort of the sort of the inspiration for it. So all of those computer banks in front of it there, and there's a big monitor screen kind of room which I've done as pillars. And then 2 or 3 banks that have got various screens and stuff on it. It's that big image that I kind of shared the other day.
But you like this notion? Because you know every week I have to throw a wee idea at you.
Come on then.
You make the WOPR computer, right? And you give it a stat card and you make it a villain. and it
Nice.
can control the secret base doors.
Yeah.
It can send out the
Very
minions,
nice.
the laser walls.
There's laser walls in there. I've got that in the best
Exactly.
maps.
So the
Yeah, I've got laser
computer can
walls.
actually have taken control, have killed all the NATO people, and your agents are trying to infiltrate the base and get in to shut down the supercomputer before it starts World War III.
Nice.
There's an adventure.
Done. Sorted.
Yeah. With cultists.
Eleanor is just telling me it's WOPR. Is it pronounced Whopper?
It probably is.
Should be.
Yeah.
It's the Whopper.
Weapons of something. World something something. Yeah. But it
Proper rigor.
control is given to a NORAD supercomputer known as Whopper.
There you go.
There you are.
I've maybe only seen it once, like back in the day.
You probably watched it as a kid because it's kind of kids movie, but when you revisit it, because it's obviously Matthew Broderick, it holds up really well. Yeah. The only other one I've seen that I sort of thought, but it's probably too awkward for you, is do you remember in the other Bond movie where they play nuclear war on like the battleship computer screen? I think it's that guy who was a singer and Roger Moore again, and they're in like his island castle. The game of global domination is about to begin.
No, I remember Superman 3. It's all I can think of now, with him flying along and the missiles.
Aye, but in the moment you get an electric shock every time you like lose a country or something. with lethality if you lose the nuclear war, and Roger Moore just manages to kind of let go if they ever one of them.
I don't remember that.
I hate my memory. It doesn't work.
And mine's normally pretty good, but I don't remember that bit. There's not enough coffee in the world at the moment.
No, get yourself that, what do you call those people from Harrogate? Tailors?
Oh, no, it's good that is. We've got that one.
Yeah, the hot lava Java.
I had that one. There's a nice gentle Sunday morning one, a green one, which is quite nice. That's quite good.
I get the one with like the big number and the red label, and I bought it yesterday, and this is pretty much the end of it now.
Oh.
I didn't get much sleep.
I can imagine.
Sat up all night thinking about supercomputers.
The Whopper.
Nuclear war in James Bond, Roger Moore. Even my Google searches have got stupid.
I think with most gamers, if you looked at their search history, it would be terrifying.
Most of mine is about supercomputers taking over the world.
It knows. That's why. You'll be the first to go. It'll target you now.
It's not The Spy Who Loved Me. Don't tell me about The Spy Who Loved Me. It's not that one. I can't remember. It was some little kind of dweeby guy who was like a singer.
It's a vague idea now about it.
It was one of the later ones.
It's Largo.
Largo. No, is Largo not the guy who had the boat and Domino was his like girlfriend, daughter, niece?
Never Say Never Again, says Graham Rigg, which was a remake of Thunderball.
Might be Never Say Never
Largo Thunderball, isn't he? Largo with the eye patch.
No, this dude would put you in mind of like your guy that sang Lady in Red nearly.
Chris Rea.
Chris Rea didn't sing Lady in Red.
Chris
de Burgh.
It's not one of... No, that can't be right. Octopussy was on last week, and that's awful.
I hate not being able to remember those things. It's not Live and Let Die. It's not The Man with the Golden Gun. It's not Octopussy.
Yeah, Emilio Largo. He's Thunderball.
Thunderball's the one with the mountain, isn't it? And the abseil and...
it's with Domino and the bike and the...
And the abseil and minions, no.
And the water bit. Yeah, that's
no, this one here, it's the guy has like a coastal castle. and it's
It was View to a Kill. Is all not View to a Kill. For Your Eyes Only is them trying to scale the mountain in there, and I've only ever seen that once or twice.
I've seen all of them like a zillion times. They're all awesome. My mum's a big Bond fan. Right, Ernst Stavros Blofeld, no. Ulrich Goldfinger, no. Jaws, no. Alec no. Trevelyan, no. Francis Scaramanga, no. Le Chef, which one was Le Chef?
What are you looking for? Bond villains?
Yeah, I've just googled Bond villains because that's a thing. Everyone loves them. It's not Alec Trevelyan. He was a bit silly.
My giant book of Bond out.
It's not Ulrich Goldfinger. It's not Blofeld #2 or Blofeld #1.
Fellas are both in Octopussy. They're going in the circus, but they don't go. Well, one of them gets killed later on, and he's upset that his brother's died. So maybe he's gone that way.
It's not No Time. No, it's not No Time to Die. No,
that hasn't been out yet.
No.
Casino one. Helena saying "Never Say Never Again," and it's Connery. Maybe that's why I can't remember it then, because I saw Never Say Never Again when it came out.
And is that the one where they play nuclear war on like a hollow screen game with everyone sitting around watching them? They play it for money.
I don't. But Never Say Never Again is a Thunderball. Graham, in fact, Graham's just said that. They remade it. It's the weird one where Connery comes back. That's made by another company and not Eon.
Maybe that is it. Right.
But maybe that's why you're thinking it, and why Helena's saying it's Largo as well. So you've mixed two memories together.
I might be getting the images of it chewed up. Never there. Right. There's Never Say Never Again. The girl looks right.
Never say never again.
Never say never again. No, I think she is spot on the money. It's Never Say Never Again. I just would love to see the villain. Yes, there he is. There he is. That's him. It's the Krista Berger like.
Does he sing?
He doesn't. He teaches ballet in it. The girl's a ballet dancer on the boat this time. Yes.
I do think I know the one you mean now.
And then
I don't remember the sequence at all. But...
It keeps her prisoner in like the tower of the keep castle thing he's got. But downstairs he has this mad like casino party. And they've got this big gold table, and it's essentially like war games, this hollow computer that simulates nuclear war.
Mm-hmm.
Klaus Maria Brandauer.
Mm-hmm.
But there we go.
They're on at the moment. On Sunday afternoon, I will often sit down and watch a little segment. I think we have View to a Kill. Do you know that I didn't know this? I was reading about this. David Bowie was originally going to be the villain, cast as the villain.
That would make sense. That would make complete sense.
Someone else, and I think Christopher Walken was like third choice.
I would love to have seen him as a Bondy. Yeah, that would have worked a treat.
Yeah.
But this guy Klaus was actually quite good, because as much as Bond was quite often underplayed, that's what I always liked about Bond. He wasn't like a big muscle bound Rambo character. He was the kind of bloke you'd meet down the chippy. And he always kind of came across, his version of Largo was just kind of like, I listen to the classical music.
Like the best face in the world. Yes. He's also rocking the very European cardigan tied over the shoulders.
Oh, very much so. Very much so. And there he is playing the little nuclear war game.
Got ya. Right, yeah.
Anyway, the whole point of that entire conversation was it was a class computer game, but it wouldn't work for 7TV because it would need a coloured bit of glass. That took us about 10 minutes to get to the point that wouldn't work.
Very hard to do a holographic small miniature game. I don't think it's the right format.
Perspex. You need coloured perspex, like the old Necrons.
Yeah. I've always wanted to put a mobile phone into a big display in there and have things. I saw a few people do that.
Done that. You keep forgetting to charge it. We could do that, and then we could stream Saturday Morning 7 TV live into the secret base.
Oh, we'll have to do that, won't we? Yeah, broadcast live.
Yeah. Now that we've said it, we have to have a little army of minions all stood. What people at home are watching is the little army of minions.
And what we'll do is a range of miniatures where all of the blokes, the minions at the desk, are just face planted. Ripping out the eyes, make it stop.
The horror. Right. Do we have anything else meaningful we need to talk about?
No, I don't think so. I think we're all right. I think you might be getting a message about 7TV fantasy playtesting this week.
Oh, I wonder who might be doing that. Justin Lee Morrison, put your pants on and get into the car.
So we're way ahead. We've got everything pretty much laid out that we need for playtesting. So there'll be lots of lovely shiny coming out. So a select few to start testing all of that.
Nice.
Supplements.
I need you to come up with rules that I can justify the use of Blood Angels now in 7TV, because people have made me paint Blood Angels again.
Right.
So I need a 7TV that allows me to use guys in stupid ornate power armor that are silly for anything else. Just
use Arnold.
I just need stat cards for them that justify blood drinking, genetically mutated space heroes. So yeah, we need 7TV in deep space now, swiftly.
You can use a little card creator, make your own.
I could. Aye.
That's never going to happen. It's not going to happen. There was no enthusiasm in that at all. You could repeatedly punch yourself in the face. No, I'm not going to do that. No, I'm not going to.
That was fun. I suppose it could. I have to, this is embarrassing to say, I keep looking on 7D Productions and going, that's class, he's made stat cards for 1010, and I keep forgetting that's a thing you can actually go and do.
You didn't seem very interested in it when I was just
no, that's because I was trying to cope with, how do I admit the shame of that? I actually keep forgetting that's a thing.
Yeah, make your own.
Yeah, because the number of times I've sat here at night, just staring lonely out into the dark and thinking, I wish I could, like, have my own characters like those guys do. My brain just works at a different level. It goes, just go and use the card generator. No. Hello?
And the other one goes, no, just to keep thinking about it.
Don't do that. It's better to be miserable and alone.
You have a wee Andy card. Put your own face on your own card.
Okay, I'll do that then. I'll just do my own stuff, because it's not like you actually do any of our ideas. We give you gold and you give us just more fishmen. Frankly, it's like
is that like how alchemy works? Fishmen into gold into fishmen?
I'm not really sure. I think sometimes when we give you gold, we expect at least bronze back in return, or a spreadsheet that works. Which reminds me, send me a new spreadsheet.
Rude man.
We can't let you go away with a big head every week. Let me go away with one week.
With his hair.
With that hair, it's a big hat. You need not big.
I nearly cut again.
See, when you do that, the screen gets a lot lighter, and it takes about 5 years off you. You should literally do the whole broadcast like that.
Oh, look, I can see it. Look. Whoa.
Lighter, darker.
Oh, I can just do this next week. 45 minutes. Woo! That'll be it. Sorted. Don't even need to speak.
In Bond, it might be an all-time high. I think for us, it's an all-time low. Oh my god! Right. At the danger of you making another with your finger, let's wrap it there on that moment of pure gold. Very quickly, what do people need to be sending money to Crooked Dice for this weekend? Because it's normally at the weekend you kind of go, here's my new releases. What can they buy today that they couldn't buy last week?
I put them out. The cultist zombie bear is out as well. I will hopefully be getting some more secret bases in stock next week in there. So we'll have another 5 or so that we're eking out. But yeah, there's loads of bits and pieces on there.
I've sold 2 your secret bases for you since we've done that live broadcast. So my guilt over the secret base is completely dealt with. You've even had to send one to Sweden, sure.
Yes, yeah, your man's got one.
Yeah, your man, Christer.
It is Christer. Mr. Christer.
Yeah, no, that was kind of cool.
So yeah, plenty out there.
Casino Royale. Yeah, but you mean the original Casino Royale, Justin, and you're just broken so deeply.
On that happy note.
Yeah, who knew that this week was going to be the Bond themed episode? Most
only we name because we couldn't actually name any facts. We just wandered off.
Yeah, but it was actually just to get round
that one with the man in the thing.
He looked like a singer. He looked like Krista Berg. Yeah, and all of that for the realization that we were talking about a thing that wouldn't work for Crooked Dice anyway. Next week, tune in next week where we will talk about a different film franchise completely randomly, but it'll be about halfway through before either of us remember which franchise we mean.
You know, the one with the gun and the man. That one.
The man with the gun and the car.
And the head. Remember that?
And he had the arm and the other arm.
Yeah.
That one.
They're walking.
And I had the music. Dum 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 dum. Yeah. Sequest DSV, that was it.
No one mentioned the fish.
No one mentioned the fish, man.
Oh, dear.
Right, son. You have a beautiful day. Folks, it's been an absolute pleasure. Oh my gosh, if you're looking forward to that next week, I feel sorry for you because we feel sorry for us. It has always, as always, it is always a pleasure for Karl to get to talk to me. And it's reasonably tolerable for me to get to talk to Karl. But it is best of all for us to get to talk at you. I can make limbs vanish. Gonna have to get you to try out the virtual background. I'd love to see what you'll use next week as a virtual background for once.
What I'll do is I'll just do a big long painting on a reel and I'll get the kids to the background to just move it.
Just roll it. Yeah. Or you could just tidy up. Both are good. We've caught on though. We've actually caught on. The notice board never changes now.
That's because there's no bloody show. That's why.
Yeah, but like 20 years ago, you wrote on that board, and it's just sat there since.
I don't know. I might update it this week. Actually, I might. You might get hidden secrets.
Cancelled.
Or if not, I'll just draw cock and balls. It'll be marvelous.
I was going. That's bizarre because I was just going to say you could write porn names on the board and see if anyone spots them.
Well, that's the best thing to do, isn't it? It'll be detailed. It'll be lovely.
But I'd be interested to see how good a drawing you can do of a chicken and a basketball. Yeah, I'll look forward to that.
I will rise to that challenge.
That's what I heard. Right, folks, we are going to give you the credits because we're not going to take any. And it's been a pleasure. It's goodbye from him.
Bye.
Bye-bye.